going to be a very long and interesting year in tech. Well, I'm going to try and guess what the next 12 months have in store for us with my 5 tech predictions for 2024. First up, we have cheaper folding phones. So folding phones have been around for quite some time now, and I think this is the year where we'll finally see cheaper foldable phones. Most of them usually hover around the $1,800 mark, except for the Galaxy Flip and Motorola Razr. The folding style foldable phones always hover around that price. So I'm thinking this will be the first year we'll see a fold style device at around $1,000 or $1,200. Next up, we have a slowdown in EV adoption. So EVs have had a sort of weird year. A lot more EVs got released and were available for people to purchase last year. That also meant that more people were experiencing EVs and getting to know how living with one is like. And for quite a few people, it could have been a much better experience. There were quite a few complaints about the charging infrastructure, wait times, broken chargers, and even cars being bricked by software updates. And then on the flip side, you also have first-time car owners who started out with EVs and then decided that they were going to get regular cars instead, almost as if the EV was a gateway drug of some sort. And let's be honest, most people aren't car people, so the thought of owning your first car with all the maintenance that you have to do on it, so many things could go wrong, it's kind of intimidating for most people. So an EV where you literally have to only change the wiper fluid seems like a safe option for most, but then after a while they realize that they want something else. So we saw quite a few people switch from EVs back to regular cars. And here's why I think we'll see a slowdown in adoption this year. Next up, we have more iOS Android compatibility. In the previous year, we already saw Apple have to give in to the new laws in the EU by switching, first of all, the iPhones to USB Type-C and supporting RCS. And I think we're going to be seeing more of that this year if the EU doesn't let up pressure on them. And that could result in us seeing more interoperability between iOS and Android. But don't hold your breath if you think this means Apple is going to all of a sudden make iMessage for Android or open up its walled garden to the rest of us. Number 4, we have the return of the PSP. So last year we saw Sony release the PlayStation Portal, which is a personal streaming device that connected to your PS5 and allowed you to play the games you already owned. In theory, it's great. It allows you to play the full versions of your games and you don't have to buy separate games for your PlayStation. It received mixed reactions when it was released, and quite understandably, because previously the PSP was such a great portable gaming device that I think a lot of people actually miss. That's why you see handhelds like the Steam Deck and others gain so much popularity in recent times. People want something similar to the PSP, and I think that Sony might be giving people what they want sometime in the future. Chances of that happening this year are quite low, especially since they just launched the PlayStation Portal, but I'm hoping they see the light sooner rather than later. And finally, the big one, interest in AI will fade. This is probably the least likely to happen, but there's still a chance. Just like crypto and NFTs had a lot of hype behind them in the previous years, I think the same is going to happen with AI. In the last year, we saw an explosion of AI tools left, right, and center, and some really crazy advancements in AI. But if you sift through all the noise, you'll find that there are only a few really noteworthy AI advancements. Most of the AI tools out there are just piggybacking off OpenAI anyway. Very few companies are actually developing their own AI. So I think we'll see a significant loss in interest in AI this year. Well, these are my tech predictions for 2024. Let me know in the comments, what predictions do you have and which ones do you think I mentioned that are most likely to happen. And we'll revisit this at the end of the year and see how many I got right. Anyway, that's been it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next video.